Hello, I'm Phil Svitek, 360 Creative Coach. In this episode, I want to give you a directing tip for how to work with actors, right? And this is specifically during the rehearsal phase, not the actual filming phase, okay? Although, if needed and you have the time, you could employ this within the filming environment, but just know that it could take up time and it's better served if you have it during rehearsals. Now, before I get into it, though, I would like to take the opportunity to invite you to subscribe if you haven't already. That way you get all the various lessons and episodes that I put out right when I put them out. Thank you if you just did, and thank you if you already were. It truly does mean a lot to me, as I hope it does to you. So this exercise, I don't know the official name for it, but you can call it the one-word rehearsal, one-word subtext. Basically what it is the actors can have the script in front of them, and you let them play the scene. They don't and instead of saying their lines of dialogue, even if there's literally a monologue that goes on for pages, have them deduce that monologue to one word. And the reason why I call it the one word subtext exercise is because that one word is ultimately all encompassing of the subtext, what the true meaning of any line of dialogue for each character is, So in that way, it's a lot of fun, right? It gets the actors really thinking, and out of their heads. And two, as you're going through this, and as each actor is really kind of trying to come up with a word that fits best, you really start to see where their head is at in terms of the story, in terms of that scene. What are they finding important versus not? And are you, as a director, aligned with them? There's been instances like, for my upcoming feature film, I've employed this, and there was times when someone said like one word instead of another, and I'm like, okay, you know what? I get why you would pick that word, but that's the surface of it. This is actually the true meaning of what you're saying. They're like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. And, in that way, you explore the scene and allows you to really go deep, really quickly with it, because, everyone's forced to think and just deduce it to that singular word, describe what is happening. Try not to, make them not use sounds. They have to use actual words, right? And it's just, plus it's just a lot of fun in that way, right? And, in having done this exercise with my actors, one of the things it was like, oh, that's, this would be a cool way just to kind of almost memorize dialogue, because, it simplifies it of like, oh, what I need, whatever my line is, I know what the core of it is. I was like, yeah, by all means, yeah, utilize that. So that's really the long and short of it is just run the scene, but instead of saying the actual lines of dialogue, they just say, they pick one specific word for the line of dialogue. And I don't care if it's, just a few words, a couple of sentences, or an entire monologue. They have to, that is the challenge, to deduce it down to a singular word, and intonate it with their, tone of voice and so forth, right? And yeah, it's a nice fun way to get to the root of what the story is about and help them understand, as well as you, to see what they're thinking. So that's the one word subtext exercise, as I like to call it. Maybe it's called officially something else, but that's what I call it. Anyway, if you have any questions about this, by all means ask, whether down in the comment section or hit me up on social media. Likewise, if you have suggestions or thoughts, offer them up, same way. Also, feel free to share this with anyone in your life who you think might benefit from it. I certainly would appreciate it. And one final thing before I wrap out, speaking of movies, my upcoming feature film, we have a crowdfund going for it that I would truly appreciate if you checked out. We've tried to create a lot of cool perks for anyone that contributes. So please check it out, and if financially you can't donate at this time, that's okay, as an alternative share it with friends and family. That would just mean the world to us. There's only a few days left before the crowdfund closes. The link is in the description box, so please check it out. Anyway, thank you. I appreciate you. Hope this tip helps, and hope to see you next time.